Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Metro Coder podcast, where we talk all things tech. Today, I want to dive into climate change and our data, particularly data privacy and some concerns that I have there. And this is all stemming from the World Economic Forum recently that was had at, Davos. And this is an event for people that don't know what the World Economic Forum is. This is where leaders in different industries go together and link up and essentially talk about, topics that they believe will impact society and our future and come up with potential solutions, um, to how to handle these concerns that they have. Um, so one of them is climate change. Climate change is a recent hot topic, um, and it's something that is of some concern to some people, and they believe that they have the solution to it. They believe this is something that um, can lead to an extinction event. I don't know what people's view is on that topic, but that's not what we're here to discuss. We're going to discuss pretty much the technological aspect of it and what they brought up. And my concern primarily has to do with data privacy, because from just to summarize essentially what their solution is, it's to use technology, leverage technology, in such a way so that way they can monitor things via sensors. They can be able to raise a red flag as soon as they can and be able to suppress a particular situation, right? Like let's say they can see that there's a water source that's dissipating rapidly. They'll be able to say, okay, instead of having businesses use this water source, use this water source, or this there's a contamination here. They'll be able to track all these things, right? Another example, another use case was shipping containers. So these big barges, they're in the water, and with the use of satellite technology and GPS, along with artificial intelligence, which has been the latest buzz terms in the past couple of days with ChatGPT and whatnot, they want to leverage technology, AI technology, in order to be able to come up with the most efficient routes for these ships. So they want to be able to control uh, navigation routes, so that way things are more fuel efficient. Everything sounds great and all because I'm with it. I believe in efficiency. However, the the way that the information is going to be transferred, where is it going to be utilized, who's going to have access to this information, right? These are the obstacles that we face. Because yes, we can leverage technology. Yes, it sounds when everything is put in a perfect simulation, it works out. These things definitely do work out. But as we see with our current existing technology and our infrastructure, we see weaknesses in the system because the programming, its legacy software that's running on it, and it has exploits, and people exploit them for lots of money. And this is constantly occurring. We recently had the issue where the where flights in the U.S. they needed to be um, halted just because it seems like there was some type of ransomware or something was found, some type of exploit was found, and people, I mean, weren't able to fly for some time. And these are the weaknesses in our current system. So now we're going to talk about some things that are larger scale, things that impact transportation, um, of shipping of goods. I mean, this has to do with this is on an international scale now, right? And also, who's going to participate in this? Because you know these are international waters. Each vessel has commerce from different countries, import exports. I mean, this has major impacts, and all for the sake of climate change. And depending on where climate change is in your hierarchy of needs, it may be extremely important, it may not. However, I'm going to share a couple of articles that came straight from the World Economic Forum. Uh, Let me share my screen here. So here we go. We have The first article here, driving air pollution accountability and action via data transparency. This was written in January 11th, 2023. Once again, this is on the World Economic Forum website. I'll provide the URL in the description for you guys. But in summary, uh, the major pain point that they want to address here is poor air quality in this particular article. Um, they're saying that it results in nearly 7 million deaths globally in just 2022 alone. And they're saying there's going to be an increase in that because of the world, and the pollution that's in the air and whatnot. So some of the ways that they're thinking about combating that is so here's an example. Restriction of automobile traffic in major cities may not have intended mitigating effect uh, if more agriculture chemical byproduct transit over the city. Um, and here's the solution that they present. Satellites are the way forward. Satellites are the path forward. Sorry. Fortunately, things are beginning to change. The geostationary environment monitoring spectrum, built for South Korea and launched in 2020, is the first in a new generation of satellites observing air pollution every daylight hour with around 5 kilometer resolution. GEMS operates over the Korean Peninsula and the broader Asian Pacific region, and is helping scientists to pinpoint more accurately what the pollutants are and where they're coming from, and to get precise idea of where they are moving. With that kind of information, governments, local authorities, and businesses are better equipped to identify concerning areas. Let me zoom that in. And to make informed decisions about what actions to take. Non-governmental organizations and the wider civil society can also use the information to hold governments and industries accountable for the quality of air we breathe. This part, where the government and local authorities and businesses are better equipped to identify concerning areas and to make informed decisions about it, I think that hits, to the core. This and whole non-governmental organizations. So here they're putting the yin and the yang of it, right? They're gonna say, okay, you'll have access to the data. Really? Are we really gonna have this as public data? And what laws are going to be in place that us as citizens will be able to enforce, against large organizations, the people who create the same laws, right? But we're not going to get, into the whole political area of that. It's essentially stating they're going to use, some sensors and some technology in order to monitor the air and be able to make actionable decisions on that, right? And this goes to data privacy, right? Because what happens if you start a fire on your property, and the pollution just from a fireplace and whatnot has a lot of pollutants in it. Are those things going to be seen as, you have to stop that? Because as we all know, businesses, they're able to get away with a lot of things, right? They're the ones that are paying for lobbying for politicians and whatnot. So it's just interesting. And who's gonna have these sensors? Who's gonna be the people that make these sensors and are selling these sensors, and also who's providing the artificial intelligence behind it? You think Google, if they come out with their own thing, you think that they're gonna be biased or unbiased towards their facilities that use water cooling currently, and they're drying up water sources? I mean, these are things that are not talked about, but Google and other companies, they um, are positioned in places like Washington State near water sources, so that way they could cool down their computing capabilities. And these are things that one of the aspects of the atmosphere um, is water moisture, water vapor that traps in heat on the planet. If people didn't know that. Um, so here we have another example. Without AI, we won't meet ESG goals and address climate change. This was written January 5th. Um, and here we have power of digitalization, how better use of data is helping drive the energy transition. So here we have article upon article, um, you know, talking about increasing accountability by deploying sensors and running AI based, predictive uh, analytics on these things. For what reason? Like I said, they want to, monitor and keep things accountable. So with those three articles, we can pretty much see in summary, there's going to be or a potential where there's going to be a lot of sensors being deployed out in the public. Satellites are going to be used, um, and data is going to be collected. They're going to be ran through algorithms that large tech companies are going to be creating in order to combat and track trends that are impacting climate. Um, what transparency are they going to have when it comes to the scientific community coming together and knowing what data to collect, what is valuable data, what is not valuable data? This is going to be tricky because this is becoming a political agenda. It's different parties have different views for some reason, and when it comes to something that's scientific, there should be, a concrete truth. It seems these are more like theories and hypotheses that people have about, climate change and the way that things are going. Um, yes, I believe that we should live a little bit greener, cleaner when it comes to our energy consumption. I think we should be more responsible in that aspect. But I think it should be something across the board, something a little bit, democratic. Um, and once again, the data that's being collected, who's going to have access to it? What is going to be the level of encryption on it? These are the things that we have to look and see when these laws are being passed. We'll see how these things unravel. Right now, we have we have Elon Musk with the satellites up there, right? And he has communication uh, with Starlink and all that stuff. It's just rather interesting. Uh, who are going to be the players in these games? Who are the people that are going to really be able to capitalize on building these sensors and deploying it, creating the AI, getting these government contracts to start, monitoring essentially society and the use of electricity, use of different power sources, and then also transportation. Like I said, they want to, make it as efficient as possible. I don't know if people have noticed the Google has updated their maps feature and now it has a more efficient route suggestion where that's actually the default now, where it'll suggest a more efficient route with a green leaf in order for you to consume less fuel. I mean, they're collecting this data already. So they also even have an option to put, if you have an electrical car or not for when you're doing these routes. So now these things are going to start getting deployed at a global scale. We'll see what will happen. I just want to make you aware, as always. Um, do what you want with the information, but just my job is just to regurgitate it, synthesize it for you, simplify it for you, because reading these articles can be boring. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. That wraps it up. I'm pretty sure more things are going to be revealed, but essentially, data privacy, Web3 has to come through. Hopefully, I'm going to be talking about that as well sooner or later. There's some people in Congress, they're being asked to really take the Web3. There's a lot of pushback on the Web3, and because it is going to take a major overhaul on the current infrastructure, but it's something that's necessary. And that's the thing that's going to push us to the next step in technology, and the next revolution, technological revolution that we're due for, in my opinion. But yeah, that's it from me. This is your boy Metro Coder, and that's another one. Take it easy, folks.